here.
It's a good thing I decided to come tonight.
Right. Are we good? All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can you read it?
What?
Okay, so we're going to start with the approval of the previous minutes from October 14th. I apologize, we were in a meeting before this, everyone, so I think we're all probably going to have to read this.
I read the minutes, but I haven't read the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve these minutes.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Which one are we going to sign here? Do you have a copy down there?
I have the original. You typically
Yes,
sign during
yes.
the meeting?
And so everybody knows, Susan is filling in for Ann. Ann is sick tonight, so
Hi.
Susan is our training lady here in the office.
Hi. And I apologize if there's not any copies out, that I just was notified like an hour and a half ago that she would not be able to make it. If there's any copies that are typically out, such as extra agendas or anything, just let me know after the meeting and I'll get you a copy.
So we're going to move on to approval of accounts payable vouchers. Has everyone had a chance to go over that?
Yes, I make a motion, we accept accounts payable vouchers.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No adjustments.
No, no adjustments.
You're saying there is none?
No adjustments.
All right, so we're going to skip adjustments and we're going to go over to Clerk-Treasurer's business.
Okay. I just have a couple of items. Due to short staffing this week, the last couple days, and the Clerk-Treasurer's sickness today, we have a few bills that we weren't able to get on the accounts payable register that was reviewed earlier. And I would like to list a couple of those, and ask for consideration to go ahead and pay those so that they're paid before next town council
Paid
meeting in
this
December.
month.
One is being utility supply for 6 meters and rubber meter gaskets in the amount of $2,251.58. I'll go ahead and read these off, and if you have any questions, let me know with one motion at the end.
Okay.
Collier's Heating and Air Conditioning, the thermostat would not shut off on the unit. This is at the community center building. They performed a system evaluation and removed the existing thermostat, repaired some wiring, and put a new thermostat in. Total was $542.48. Indiana Municipal Electric Association, the 2025 annual membership dues and the 2025 bi-monthly safety meeting dues in the amount of $1,493.46. And then we have a Napa one in the amount of $7.08 for paint for locate mark to mark for locates. We have one for Weed Incorporated related to the vac truck. Includes equipment and labor for 2 technicians, and cleaned out the lift stations. That's for $2,195 even. Williams Supply Company for chemicals related to the sewer plant, I believe, it's $225. And Graycraft Signs, lettering, magnets, and decals for the new Town of Etna Green sign.
For the new Town of Etna Green mule. So that was sort of, we were gonna save that to tell everybody, but K20 K21 along with the park project, with the Heritage Park project that we've got going on here, I put that in there. We added that in there, so we have got a brand new mule for the Town of Etna Green. And that's so that Richard doesn't have to walk the trail every morning to check trash cans and pick up sticks and everything else. So it was going to be a surprise, but yeah,
I'm
now
sorry.
we've got it out there.
I'm the consultant. It is due November 18th, so I'm doing you a favor.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, the balance due on it is $37, so
Do we have a total for the pile? That what?
I do not.
Okay, then I make a motion that we go ahead and accept the billing as you listed them, that to be included with the accounts payable this month.
Thank you,
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you. That's all I have.
You have nothing else?
No, sir.
Okay. So we're going to move on to ordinances and resolutions. So the first one here is my stuff got all mixed up here. Okay, so we have 2 of them here. Do you know what these are about, Susan?
This is the resolution for the, authorizing the application submission and local match commitment for the, Okra CDBG planning grant. So it basically is authorizing, Heath to sign, and submit the application on behalf of the town. And it's committing a local match of not to exceed $10,000 from LIT, which is 10% of the proposed, project amount.
I make a motion we accept the resolution 2025-07.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you have one to sign, or you want me to pass this one down and you give me a copy?
Oh, do you mind if I get you to sign them after the meeting?
Yep, that's fine. Well, I just signed that one. You have that one there, so.
Okay.
It's just his signature.
Yep. All right. The next one is resolution 2025-8. And this resolution providing for the transfer of appropriations for the 2025 budget for the action and passage by the Etna Green Town Council. There's a glitch on that. That needs changed.
Oh, I see that. Yeah,
It's Kosciuszko.
I got it.
I didn't,
Correction on the name of the county.
I didn't get one of those papers.
You not get one? Can you explain what this is for since you
Yes.
typed this?
Yes, So, at times during the year, as we all know, a budget is done quite a ways before you're actually spending in the years here.
Last
And
year.
yeah, exactly. So it has not had to be done this year so far. So we are transferring into line items that is in need of additional funds from ones that the funds were not needed. So the overall total budget it remains the same.
Okay. I make a motion, we accept resolution 2025-08.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye. We all three need to sign.
Yeah, I'll sign this one and pass it down.
Yeah, the back.
Okay. Okay, it's on the
Yeah,
back.
you can keep that one for yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to fire and township business. Do we have anybody here from the fire department to represent the fire department? I don't think we do. Okay, we're gonna skip that one or pass over that one. Next, we're gonna move on to attorney business. So Nick, what do you have for us?
I do not have anything today.
Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing. All right, I don't know about that.
Slacker.
You're right. Okay. I guess we could move this into your slot. I wanna make a motion that we move forward with the contract, with Ann Calgar, that we went over here earlier.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. I'm gonna need copies on the two resolutions and that one, please.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, next we're gonna move on to Olivia.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Olivia Nix, and I am a community development planner with the Michiana Area Council of Governments. I've had the pleasure of working with the town for the past few months here on a grant application to secure funding for a master utility study. This has been a kind of group effort from town staff and community members in contributing their input and feedback to make a compelling and successful grant application, which we are gearing up to submit this Friday. I have a few different things to touch on for the grant requirements, but also want to give a quick update and then say that I am all ears for any questions that you may have. So this grant that the town is applying for is through the Indiana Community Office of Community and Rural Affairs. It's a planning grant to fund a master utility study that will take a deep look at the wastewater, drinking water, and the feasibility of a stormwater utility as well. And this is to have a better understanding of the areas that need improvement, what the current state of the infrastructure is, and get a recommended plan of action. As I'm sure you've been made aware, any issues or problems that you are currently experiencing with your utilities, your water utilities, can be directed to the town clerk. And that is useful as we put together this grant application and move forward with completing the study. So all in all, if awarded, the study will be complete within a 12-month window, but definitely shorter than that, and will give the town a roadmap for suggested critical improvements, looking out for the next 5 years, and then kind of long-term game plan for other improvements spanning 20 years. So the town is seeking the maximum CDBG amount of $90,000, and like Susan mentioned earlier, the town is committing a 10% match and of not to exceed $10,000, which will bring that total project cost to $100,000. So one of the core principles of OKRA funding is making sure that we are achieving one of their national objectives. The national objective that this is satisfying is low to moderate income area benefit. And the way that we calculated this was through income surveying. This was done back in the springtime, and through the income surveys, we needed to meet the threshold of 51% low to moderate income individuals. From the results, we have calculated that approximately 63.1% of the individuals in the area are low to moderate income, and therefore $56,790 will be used to benefit the low to moderate income individuals. That is a fun calculation that OKRA requires us to do. And the last thing to touch on is that this project itself will not result in the displacement of any individuals or businesses, but it is a necessary step as the town prepares for future infrastructure improvements, namely in creating a fundable document, meaning that they are able to then go and secure construction dollars to fund those improvements the plan suggests. So that's my long-winded spiel. Happy to answer any questions the council has or any of the community members, but this has been a work in progress, and we're gearing up to submit this Friday for the grant application. And we should hear within a month about award, so. Thank you.
Is it gonna be a full amount, or could there be partial amounts whether it's
No,
it's
we
either is or not?
Yeah, we specify the amount that we're seeking, and it's either awarded or not awarded, so we have a good understanding of the budget being $100,000 if awarded.
Okay.
Oh, also, I guess relevant, the town has selected Commonwealth Engineering as the firm to use to conduct the study. We went through a procurement process a while back, and so Commonwealth is not a new name to anybody here. And
When will you find out the result of the grant application?
It's typically within a month, so we have the Thanksgiving holiday to
Before
add
the end of the year?
but before the end of the year we'll know, yeah. And then
Okay.
we'll be able to move forward with the contract at that point and get rolling.
You got Dave back there?
This grant is just for the,
For the
study,
study,
right?
yep, so
Okay.
this,
So you're
just-
not gonna get much done for $100,000.
no, construction-wise, no, but this is
Darn.
the most, yeah, I wish, not today's day. But this is the most essential step, cause it kind of unlocks those external funding sources to go after, to actually fund the construction, yeah.
I'd like to add, we've been working with Olivia and basically the water committee and reviewing the past application that we applied for, the scoring matrix associated with this next go-around, and then targeting support letters, mainly impact letters. Residents in this community that are dealing with significant issues. And we have some really good impact letters to go along with this application.
Yeah.
I think we're grounded very well with this OKRA application.
I agree.
I think we learned from the last one, and I think we've got a lot more input into this one here.
Yeah.
So this one's like, we really did our homework this time.
Absolutely, the feedback, it's why they do those sessions, but they're very critical in identifying areas where we kind of needed to fill in some blanks and refrain from some things and build up the resident impact, which we knew existed, but now it's just kind of giving a little bit more evidence to it.
But we have till Friday, so if you have
Yeah.
issues.
Don't add any more.
Yeah, get them in now. Definitely.
Knock on some doors.
Yeah, I will say pat on the back to the community. We have received numerous letters with genuine kind of statements of impact, pictures, and then nearly 70 responses on the survey that was sent out. So that is, yeah, hats off. Not many communities, especially something like this. It's not as fun to participate in, but this is a meaningful one. So appreciate that.
That's the platform.
Makes my job easier in the application process. So
All right, thank you, Olivia.
thank you.
All right, I'm gonna change the schedule up here a little bit. We're gonna move right to Commonwealth next, and what they have to bring to us tonight.
So, we started the process developing the funding roadmap for the community. And one of the alternatives was basically to look at the most cost-effective method for the town to do the preliminary engineering study or the master utility study for the community. And that was with the Okra planning grant. We're still moving down that method, and Commonwealth has been a vital part here, supporting both the community and MACOG in addressing some of these issues and outlining the application to be submitted. What we're running into is a timing issue. So with that, as Olivia said, after the award the Okra planning grant has been awarded, which we don't know if it's going to be awarded or not, you have 12 months for this process to be completed. What we're running into is multiple failures within both the utilities, the wastewater and the water system. And I'm concerned that if we miss this next go around for the state revolving funds, it's going to be an opportunity that you guys may be out 1.5 to 2.5 years before you get any type of construction project moving forward.
We've gotta get it moving this year.
Yeah, what worries me is that sewer plant out there is the biggest concern at the moment. I took Eileen Hall out there last week and took her for a tour so she could see physically. The decking out there that the ASTBURY has to walk across. I mean, I even told Eileen, I'm like, we're not going over there. We're just not, because I don't trust it. There's been one employee did fall through the decking out there. The aerators that are in both those ditches out there, the grease is just pouring out of those things, and the fingers are gone off of all of them. If we lose one of these ditches goes down, it puts the town down to one, and then it puts all the strain back onto that one when we have two. And I don't want to see something happen to the town, and we need to move forward. And we've just had some recent issues with some water here in town where we still have people that are still getting very nasty water. So we're going to have to start going out and going to certain people's houses here in town and flushing lines to try and keep up with this. So we can't wait 2 years. And we can't wait for it to break and then say, hey, we're going to fix it. So that's where Chris is.
One of the things I want to talk about, when you work through an Okra planning grant, they require a community to have a match. Most of the time, most communities will reach out to the state revolving funds. And what they're looking for there is either grant funding, zero interest loans, or a low interest loans to complement the Okra projects that are coming in. So there's multiple avenues here to help support the community. What we're seeing is that over the past 4 years, there has been an utility infrastructure bill that has been used and has helped communities within the state, and there's only 1 year life cycle left this last year for those funds available for the community. With that, the town is going to be applying for SRF as your match, one way or the other. what I would like the council to take under consideration is to start that process early. Meaning, we work through the preliminary engineering review for the wastewater. You will also require an asset management plan to be completed and have that project submitted into the SRF cycle here April 1st. Those funds can be reimbursed back to the community with the SRF funding project. With me tonight is Jeremy Hardy. Jeremy is excellent with this. He's typically the project engineer for Etna Green. And I brought him along to explain the process as well and to allow the town to get better clarification on what we're trying to do to get ahead of the ball game into a construction project and not waiting 1.5 to 2.5 years. Jeremy, you got any comments?
Yep, so, again, the timing thing, so with SRF, they actually have another layer of requirements. Chris mentioned the asset management plan. So they require that to even qualify to be funded. So I know there's a timing thing with the planning grant. Before the plan was use that to submit, and at some point in time, this asset management plan was always gonna come up. But it's just been kind of kicked down the road, just waiting for this to occur. So kind of need to have these things that happen at once to achieve what Chris has mentioned, this bill funding that's available through SRF. Currently, that's the biggest mechanism of grant funding available beyond CDBG through OCRA that you can apply for, but that has to happen after you do your planning grant. So it's the best opportunity kind of hanging out there for the community itself. After which time there are small grant opportunities with the state to where you have to raise rates to meet a certain threshold. Whereas if you meet the criteria, which I believe, Chris, you've already verified that, so they have a threshold for this bill funding that as long as you score within their fundable range, you have access to that. Now, they go down the list, so it's much like with trying to score well and get the planning grant, you want to score well on that list so that you have first access. And so then they look at rates, they look at household income, they look at all demographics to see what should be afforded to the applicant. So I would ask a question though, timing wise, because I think this kind of helps articulate the conversation a little better. Let's just say the town is awarded, you say about a month's time.
Yeah.
Are they able to start immediately, or is there a waiting period?
For planning grants, there's a brief period where you need to submit draft contracts to OCRA, and they will then at that point release funds. Once release of funds is secured, then you're able to move forward. Since this is our second go about, that should all move really swiftly, so it can happen in pretty quick succession.
So like first of the year,
Yes.
should be able to get rolling?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was just kind of thinking about that when she mentioned how quick this might be available, that one big undertaking is the AMP. You gotta have that underway. So I know Chris and I talked about moving forward with a specific PER for wastewater, but I think maybe just being able to move forward with the AMP, there's a small window of time to be able to wait for that. That way, I don't wanna see the community have to lay out funds ahead of time when this could be utilized in that fashion. So the actual evaluations and everything can happen pretty quick, but the asset management plan is pretty exhaustive, very detailed. Plus, we actually have to get the financial folks to do their piece of the equation so that, Keith, when you sign the checklist, you're certifying that it's done. So we gotta have some time also for the financial folks. So that's where that one we can give a little more breathing room, but with the AMP, as far as hitting that April 1st deadline, that's, I think where Chris is going is, we're at that point in the fork in the road of, this is a good opportunity for you, and that's something that we would have to cut loose and get moving forward with.
So really, the timing's the issue here. And what we're experiencing and what we're seeing on a regular basis is that we're having a lot of system errors with both the water and the wastewater. And I think the question you need to ask yourself, can I wait a year and a half to 2.5 years before I have run into a construction project? I know at this point in time, the town's putting a lot of funding in for reactive or emergency repairs.
Right.
And it's costly. And if we get to a point where we do have a major failure, what does that look like? Now, it may never happen, right? I mean, you may work itself through, but with that, stepping into that SRF funding April 1st, it gets you in the hopper. We should know by July if there's any type of package rolling through. If not, we roll into the next year, and by that time, we should be established with Oprah and working with the wastewater project to get that project kicked off and going. Now, that does not mean that the water system's not as important, because it is, but we gotta take one hurdle at a time.
I think it's, the whole thing is being proactive, and it's like you don't wait for it to break until you fix it. I think we need to take and sort of keep moving ahead with this to make sure, because I don't wanna see, you know, like you said, with the wastewater is a bad subject, right, you know, with what's going on out there, and I mean, we've dumped a ton of money into control panels and pumps and, you know, all these emergency, you know, coming out and pumping stuff. We're down to one well too. So we've got one well that we're using to, you know, to take and do the whole town. And so that's another thing to look at too, is that we need to be proactive. We need to keep moving forward with getting this stuff taken care of so that we can get it fixed.
What is your suggestion on what we do? What is our next step, and when do we do it?
Well, you know, when we first started this project, we were looking at the most affordable way to manage the master utility plan, and that is through the Okra funding project, the planning grant. Now we're seeing a little bit of hurdle where we're having a lot of reactive maintenance call outs. And the question I'm asking the council here, can you wait 1.5 years to 2.5 years to do a construction project? That's a long piece of time with putting Band-Aids on equipment. And my suggestion is, let's get at least the wastewater project into the state revolving fund funding cycle. That is April 1st. And that will require a preliminary engineering review and also the asset management plan. Now, the one thing we're speculating on, and I think we're in good shape, is that we will get the Okra planning grant. And if we know that within a month, it's great. Okay, we still have to do that asset management plan.
So the Okra grant will cover that PER, preliminary engineering, and then what they're kind of saying is that rather than doing sequentially the PER and then the asset management plan, that you're kind of working on those simultaneously, ensuring that you're getting a start on that asset management plan kind of ASAP, so that way you can.
We can't start either of these until we get the grant.
Well, the asset.
Yeah, asset management planning start immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Okay.
It's the piece Olivia presented on with the master utility plan. We have to wait for that to be approved because there's requirements of not starting before it's released.
Yep.
So that's that one we'd be playing just kind of chicken and egg with, just making sure you don't do anything that puts you into cross centers.
Then the other one.
Master utility study would be kind of 3 PERs, one for your wastewater, one for your drinking water, and then also analyzing the potential stormwater, the existing infrastructure, and gearing you up for that. So that part is all then squared away and allows you to then get in the future calls for funding for that. So regardless of timing on things, the master utility study will result in 3 kind of PERs.
Now here again, we're looking at focusing on that April 1st deadline.
Mm-hmm.
If we complete the asset management plan is completed, there's going to be a point in time where we're going to say, hey, this is either going to go through with Okra or it's not going to meet our timeline for this April 1st timeline, and then we'll be stepping back in and say, what direction does the council wanna move forward with? Cause we're going to have to move quickly, we're running out of time. I mean, there's a lot of work on the plate, and that's why I'm bringing it here now, to get this submitted by April 1st.
That's where we need to rely on you as our experts to let us know what we need to do when.
Now Keith, the asset management plan and the preliminary engineering review are a planning process, and engineering, they are reimbursable. You can get your funds back. So if you had to borrow from one of the utilities or a specific fund, you can have that fund reimbursed with SRF funding.
Yeah,
So basically, we gotta put a deposit down, and then once it goes through,
Move
we'll
forward.
get our deposit back to make it,
Yes.
so everybody sort of understands.
we need to, because we need to get this rolling, like you say, we're on a timeline, so that if that grant comes through, we can just keep the ball rolling.
Jeremy, you have any more comments on that? Are we reasonable on our timelines?
No, it's definitely, can't miss a step along the way, but it's doable.
So what do you need from us tonight?
I'd like for you to take under consideration, moving forward with the asset management plan for the wastewater system at this point in time.
Okay.
And that requires,
That'd be hiring you guys to do that, or?
Yep.
We would do that. The cost on that is $30,000.
Okay.
does
You
council
just
wanna
need
talk
us
about
to
that?
take it in what's that?
Do we wanna talk about that, or do we wanna make a motion on that, or?
That's,
I
well,
mean,
that's what I was just gonna ask you, is that something you were saying we need to take into consideration right now? But not, or actually move on it, should we
We're
wait?
either gonna have to move here at this council meeting or December's council meeting to make that timeline, that April 1st timeline.
Okay, well,
The sooner the better, to be
Otherwise
honest
we've
with you.
had too many things kicked down the road that should have been done, let's not
There's no use putting it off.
do that again. I make a motion that we, hire Commonwealths in order to do the asset, what is it?
Management plan.
And asset management plan.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And if we run into an issue with the preliminary engineering review, and we don't think we're gonna make that April 1st through Okra, we'll come back and say, hey, this is where we're at. We need to make a movement on that as well.
So I will say
But we
that-
need to do this no matter what.
Well, it has to be fixed, yeah, I mean,
Don't have a choice.
Yeah, and statewide, there is a requirement statewide that you have the asset management plan, so it's not for naught. It's a pending requirement, actually, it's already been passed.
yeah.
Now, timing wise, it's not as urgent, but just so you know, it's still useful, it meets some regulatory requirements, and it'll be useful for, town staff, from here on, so.
Is there anything else that you need from us tonight to begin with, to keep the ball rolling, to get it rolling?
I probably gotta sign some paperwork later on, don't I?
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
follow up with that, yeah.
Do we wanna make a motion so I'm approved to sign that paperwork, or are we
Please.
good with this motion?
You should be good
Yeah.
with this motion.
Okay.
Or Nick, do you think?
I think that'd be best, yeah. Just
And,
the-
and also to amend it maybe to include not to exceed 30,000.
Yeah, I don't know, has the
It won't.
formal motion been made and seconded
Yeah.
already?
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and voted on.
yeah,
Let's vote on, yeah.
I would clarify that, Heath has the authority of the council to sign off on the contract.
I make a motion that we authorize Heath to sign off on the contract when it's presented for Commonwealth to do the asset management plan.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Gentleman, do you have a question?
Yeah, you said that if the grant passes, we get our deposit back, but what happens if the grant don't pass? Do we still get our deposit
So
back?
we're looking at two different funding avenues. One is the Okra grant. The second one is that if the town funded the asset management plan and the engineering review with funds within the community, And once they get SRF funding, they can be reimbursed back to those accounts.
But, I mean, they will get their SRS funding, I mean, no matter what, even if you don't get the grant? I don't
There's
understand
there's always certain levels of SRF funding. One thing that we're looking for is
that.
grant
I just worry
funding.
about us losing our money,
Sure,
for any reason.
absolutely. There's grant funding. The second one is zero or low interest loans, which could be considered a grant, because you're not paying all that interest charges associated with it. The third avenue is pool funding, which is still low interest, but is not the lowest interest that you would typically see.
And to clarify on the master utility study, with the 10% match that is being committed, that is only secured if we receive that grant. So for the Okra planning study, the 10,000 will only be dispersed if they receive that award, and then the reimbursable part is specific to the wastewater
So
SRF funding.
the town's still gonna have skin in the game with Okra. They'll have that 10% match, which is basically 10,000. Okay, that is still the most cost-effective way to do a master utility study covering the water, wastewater, and stormwater. So with that, if you do apply for Okra for a construction, you will have to have a matching fund, and typically that is through the state revolving funding mechanism. They require that asset management plan.
Okay.
So, a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things happening here, but the whole intent is we want to get into this last cycle of the infrastructural funding bill, and that will be April 1st. And hopefully that's gonna be the best benefit for the community.
And
Okay. Next one we have on the agenda here, I'm gonna pull Amy Rowe up, so we're all in this stuff here.
I always have to talk after the weird thing.
Oh, after the weird thing, okay. We have a happy thing we're talking about though, so.
We do. Hi Susan. I heard so much about you. So
Oh, thank you.
I'm
Hi, Amy.
before I forget to say this out loud to you, Olivia and I just spoke. I believe that we need to be looking for an email, potentially around the 26th of November.
Oh, yes, in regards to the, T-Mobile Tornado Siren Grant, we submitted that application at the end of September, and, there was a end of November award, announcement, so just to keep an eye out,
Okay,
for that.
okay.
And so I think Susan, you would probably be the one to help Anne determine what the best pathway is. So one of the questions I had was, so the grant is coming to the town of Etna Green because the town of Etna Green owns this building in which the siren will go on top of.
Okay.
So as far as the fund that it will come into, I don't know if it needs to have a different fund to
We
be
would-
created.
I would suggest that, yeah.
Okay, so I
Creative.
wasn't sure, cause you've probably seen everything and you may have it all memorized. I know enough to be dangerous, so I did tell Ann.
Very
And now
dangerous.
it's more of a crucial thing, so when the money does come, we need to determine where it will actually arrive. And if a fund has to be done, then we'd have to do an ordinance establishing whatever said fund,
Resolution, right.
resolution, whatever it is, all those things. So if you could maybe look into that,
Yes, absolutely.
that would be really helpful, cause if
Yes.
that comes in at the end of November, I'd like to be
Yes.
prepared, cause then probably we
We
would.
would do that for the December meeting.
That's
We'll
what
have
I'm
a
thinking, so,
resolution.
because I'm
Yeah.
assuming the money wouldn't come right away, so they would have time then
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
it to be established, so
Yeah.
if
and
you
we can
could
have it
just-
established before the end of the year, and
But
Yeah.
at the December board meeting, so when the money would come in, then it wouldn't have to sit in wherever it's sitting, it could be,
So it'd be December 10th.
put right into.
Yep. so if you could look into that, that would be really helpful. We're doing that because we, our hope is that we will receive that. We feel like we put a solid case and the community did a great job of doing support letters for that as well, so.
Oh, that's wonderful, yes,
So
absolutely.
that was one thing. The other thing, and Heath and I talked about this today, so as a point of reference, on Monday of this coming week, my job will be to put together timelines for each of the communities associated with the CAP grants that we are moving forward with. the final word came in from the CAP committee that each of the grant applications for the CAP have to be in by June 30th in order for those specific communities, all the communities, to not be in the pool with the nonprofits. So in order for the communities to receive the funding, not in competition with nonprofits, each of the communities would need to be able to get their applications in by the 30th. So I'm gonna work with Heath and the town board to figure out the best pathway. So just everyone here knows if we have to move quickly, it is not for any other reason except for we just wanna make sure that we can not miss that really important deadline. I think we should be fine because we were given the opportunity to have a 3-phased
Yes.
process. So we should be fine to meet that deadline, but just as a point of reference for all y'all, one of the things that will be important coming up soon, not at this point, but probably in the new year, is to receive public input associated with what needs to be in the park, because that will be one of the grants. I know some of the folks in the room had said they'd be interested in doing that, so just have that on your radar sometime probably in January. We haven't determined what that timeline looks like, but just as a point of reference on your horizon to start thinking about those things in the park for the 3rd phase, that would be important for you to put into that grant application that we will finish. So stay tuned and start the wheels a turning, and we'll get on that and I'll probably have that and present to the board hopefully in December, if approved by the CAP committee on the 18th of November. So we are duly moving forward.
And just to add to that, as far as the paving part, just so hopefully everybody's drove past it or whatever, the paving is all done. And everybody's welcome to go up and walk on it, ride your bicycles on it. I don't have the signs up yet. We don't have landscaping done. There's a lot of that. I was gonna mention, Liz, if you could, I was gonna do this last week before the snow, if you could get some cool pictures of the park up there and sort of put them on Ink Free News without the snow, so hopefully it warms up a little bit, but if you could get some pretty cool pictures up there, get with me and let's sort of give like a sort of brief description of what people can do, because I've had a couple people said, well, they're riding bikes up there, and it's like, well, they can ride bikes. This is a health and wellness, walking trails, what this is about. So if me and you could get together on that and get some pictures so people know that it's here and it's done. It's not finished. We've got a long ways to go. The other one I want to sort of bring up is I'm going to have some community involvement and some discussion is part of this 3rd phase, and some people might like it, some people might hate it. I would like to take and do away with the softball diamond and take that building that is there and put in public restrooms and possibly a concession area for certain events. So that people going up here to utilize our park have bathrooms.
Amen.
And I know there's gonna be people there and be like, oh my God, the softball diamond, but I've talked to the Lions Club a little bit, and I've talked to numerous other people, and nothing is being done with that softball diamond anymore. And I know things come and things go. I would like to take and utilize that building for, like I said, public bathrooms, so that people aren't going up here and using the gas station every time they come to Etna Green, so that we can get more people involved in community events and stuff like that. And even at that, we don't really, there's no bathrooms up there unless we unlock the building for those events. So that's something that we needed to all talk about, and I want to, I'm just bringing it up and getting it started. Richard did get a brand new mule, and so we're going to throw that back out here. So if you see him cruising around town in it, the town didn't pay for it, K21 paid for it. So, thank those people, and I'm thanking K21 right now and everyone there for putting that in there, and that's to help because, we're limited on access as far as people and stuff, Like I said, in Warsaw, they just hire another person for the park. Well, we can't do that. So we got the mule, so that the other one is sort of quit running this spring, and so now we got a new one. It's got a plow on it, so we might plow it in the wintertime so people can still walk in the winter and have a good place to go walk. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, and yeah, me and Amy got a lot to do here after the first of the year, and phase 2 and phase 3. We have to have phase 2 done by March, or we gotta have that done, and then we gotta have the plan for phase 3 coming
to
up
have the
here.
application in,
so-
and any matching funds.
I will just say, I mean, the dog and I have been going up to the park forever. But people didn't walk up there because of the grass would make your shoes wet. There is a lot of people in this town that are using that paths already.
Okay.
Some of them that I never even knew, and I've lived here all my life, but
Right.
we've gotten to, Carol and I have gotten to talk to a lot of people, they're already using the paths.
Right.
So all of
it's a
those
good thing.
people over Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner and all those things, make sure that they start thinking about what it is that they would like additionally.
Yeah.
So when we ask them, we don't have to drag, I don't think we're gonna have to drag any information out, but have everybody start thinking about that, cause that would be really helpful. So,
Well, if we can get Liz to get it in the paper, that way people know. Some people,
yeah, to start thinking.
it's getting cold out, so some of the people don't want to go outside. So,
Everybody's liked the paths so far.
right.
Amy,
Put
thank
signs
you
up
very
there,
much.
No motorized vehicles to keep golf carts off of.
Yeah, I have to order the signs. It's just, it's a very busy time of year for me, and like I said, I haven't, and I can't find the right sign. There's the signs they have are like this, and I want to find some smaller ones that sort of go with the path, that doesn't look like a giant stop sign, you know, along there. But yes, we got temporary bollards up right now to keep people off. There's some cones up there. I ask everybody to try and stay involved. If you see people, remind them that, hey, the signs aren't up yet, but no motorized vehicles. I know we had a side-by-side or something up there in the dark before it was paved. You know, there's hoodlums everywhere. I mean, we were all kids, you know. We all did dumb things. I did too. I did burnouts here in town when I was a kid. So we all. Yeah.
That was you?
No, that was me. Yeah. So, but,
And the sheriff's department has been notified to patrol the park now, so.
Uh-oh. So, good work, guys.
okay, moving on.
Hey,
Yes.
very good call. Are you really gonna get rid of the free baseball field down there? The Amish come and play there all the time, or softball field or whatever.
That's.
You didn't see it, well, I live
I-
right there.
I know that it's one of them things where it's something to talk about because, like I said, that there's a block building that's there. There's already utilities there. They need upgraded. The top part of that building is falling apart. It's infested with squirrels.
Well, I mean, you can still build a building there, just leave the ball field there.
Well, I'm just looking
The
at.
church youth group goes up there and plays.
Okay, from what I'm being told, nobody uses it. So that's what I'm being told, that there's
Amish
not
come in town and use it.
there's not any organizations, there's not any games being played up there. There's not. I'm just trying to be proactive. I'm trying to look at other things that the community can do up there.
Can't you build a building like it's what the size that's already there and leave the ball field there?
We can talk about it.
Yeah,
This
and I
is
think
all.
the point of bringing it up now was to start understanding really what is being used, because obviously they're not gonna know everything, so just to have the conversation started, so we know what the input is, and then once we get the final input, which hopefully, you know, would be around like February,
I
then
mean,
we'll
not a
know.
lot of people
Yeah.
use that field, but, you know, they
Maybe,
do.
maybe the Amish could go to a field that more people use. Maybe it's time just to close that field now, and if just one set of people using it.
Now, there used to be a field by Clunet that the Amish used, and it's completely gone now.
Yeah, well,
And
Atwood might be having a park too, so, Atwood is actually putting in for a park as well with the CAP, so, I mean, there will be some other parks that are close in, you know, what is that, like 7 miles away from here, so
Well-
there will be other
Durban
activities.
has a really nice,
in
some
the,
really nice
you know,
ball
so,
fields
but
as
it's-
well.
Can you use them
Yeah.
though? Those are schools.
It'll be
Well,
good conversation pieces.
I mean, you wouldn't have to take the ball diamond clear out to do that with that building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something we
Right.
can.
Yeah, that's
You can
all.
look at it.
And right
It's-
now,
it's-
we're asking for ideas.
Yep,
that-
that's
And
what
this
we're-
is
Like
it,
it
this
is
is
in
exactly
school,
what
do
we
that
need.
building.
Yeah.
That we want ideas in every which way about, and what will work, what won't, what will be good for the community.
right,
So start talking over Thanksgiving.
right. Okay, we're gonna move on to this Leary.
Construction.
Leary Construction Company. Susan, do you know anything about this, or is this dumped in your lap too? Do we have to approve this? I see.
Yes, it is, I don't know a lot about it.
Okay.
I
I
think it's-
actually looked at all the pictures online. The pictures online are a lot easier, or a lot more detailed, I guess. If you seen what the water looks like inside that tower, you'd approve this immediately.
Well, this is something that we do on a regular
Yes,
basis.
well,
It's a requirement of the state that
Yep.
that we do this, that they have it inspected
Yeah, this
and taken care of and do things that
So from what it looks like, they've done an inspection and they are suggesting
Yes.
the repairs on it. Time frame estimated to start approximately 25-26, probably based on some input from the town council. The duration of the painting is estimated 5 to 10 days, weather permitting. This project is scheduled for a single mobilization. Estimated prices and times based on 7-day work week. It looks like they have separated the items out, to allow for, possibly to allow for, a piecemeal type job, but on page 3, it's listed as the vent being 7,500, the exterior roof ladder, 2,000, the overflow flapper valve screen repaired at 1,500, and the clean up and touch up the interior is 14,190.
this is something that's vital to our water system, that we stay on top of this. I think we ought to go ahead and do this, that if they're saying this is what needs done, we need to do it.
Okay. I make a motion that we move forward with with doing the repairs and the repainting and everything that needs to be done with the water tower so that we stay in state compliance.
I'll second the motion.
With the Leary contract.
All in favor?
Aye.
That tower before we ready to pay the first?
Can I ask a
Susan?
question? Yes.
What was the first figure you gave?
It is the vent for 7,500.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, I was just gonna total that too, have that totaled.
I've got 2 pages here identical that if you
Yeah,
wanna-
they're both like that at the end.
Okay.
Is this something that you would want Commonwealth to look at since they're doing a study on the existing?
We definitely
Is
want
this
a copy
something
of
that
it.
we're doing that we may need to wait for the study, or,
Part of the asset study here.
no, the,
Not
planning?
necessarily.
No,
We
Okay.
just need a copy of it.
Just need a cut, alright.
Okay.
yeah.
Because typically with the master utility study, we would reference dates on which things were done, so,
Okay.
I mean, you
So-
can't just wait to not do
Yeah.
anything.
Since
And
we
water, and this is water where we're gonna be looking more with you guys, more toward the wastewater to begin with. We gotta stay up on our water system, and that water tower is a big part of it.
Keith, if this is a $400,000 project, I'd probably say wait and include it with
It's not yet.
the PER, the evaluation.
But it's not.
You're like 14,000.
25,190.
Yeah, it's 25,000, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And we have funds to do these things. This is regular maintenance every number of years, that this is something that, over the time that I've been on council, I'm not sure how many times we've been through this, and it's a regular maintenance thing to have it inspected. And then there's always things that need to be worked on. The interior usually has to have something done. It's seldom that we don't have to. I mean, I've seen it where we spent a lot more at times doing repairs than what this is.
I already signed it, Keith.
Okay,
Just
I need it.
remember that we are always there
Right.
for your help.
okay.
And if you do run into an issue, you have an on-call agreement.
Yep.
You know, if you need an engineer to take a look at it.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one we're going to move on to is, we've got 2 quotes in here for the trash service here in town. One is from Apex and one is from Republic, and we have a representative from Republic here, today. I don't know if we should wait for Nick to get back before we move forward with this, or has everybody had time to look at it and go over it?
I looked at it pretty much. What do you?
Get out of there.
I already stole my candy. It's not my candy.
So if we went with Apex, they would give us, they provide with all new trash cans and recycle bins that Republic has provided us with.
Yeah, they'll have to go through and replace all of them.
Yeah.
It does say 1 6-yard dumpster in here, but there is 2. That was a provision that Anna told me about this morning. So
With Apex,
with Apex, yeah, that's actually 2 6-yard dumpsters for that price.
up at the park.
Yeah, well, one for the
One at the
park.
park and one waste.
Well, and the one at the park is an issue, something that we're having problems with. There's some people here in town that are abusing it.
Very much.
Yes, I have actual pictures. Somebody tore off their roof and put their roof in that dumpster up there.
That's a
So,
little, that's a
and-
little
And there's
excessive.
been numerous times this
In-
summer that people have put so much stuff in the dumpster that they've put stuff outside
of the
the dumpster, which
dumpster.
is a big no-no.
right, so.
Yeah,
But that's,
That's it. The one for there and one for out waste treatment plant, or,
yeah,
okay, yeah,
so,
but, and then I didn't see where it said what days of the week or when they would be doing, whether it would be on the same schedule or,
I'm not sure on that one.
but it's still the same thing as once a week trash and
And every other week on
and
the
every other
recycle.
week
Yes.
recycle.
So,
Do they have, also, lists of what can be recycled and what's not? How stringent are they on recycling?
I'm not sure on that one. We're waiting on you, Nick.
I know Republic has gotten a lot tighter on what they wanted recycled, that there was, and a lot that was, what I understood was going into the recycle bin was ending up just going to the landfill because it was outside their purview of what they allowed for recycling.
Alright.
Who do we use right now?
We use Republic right now, is who we have, and like I said, we have a quote here. Just to give you guys the rate, as of January 1st for the trash and the recycling will be $20 per household, from Republic. You go to the Apex quote, the Apex quote is $17.83, is what that one is. So,
And they're showing here also on Republic of the different amounts that it's gonna go up over a 5-year, each year for 5 years. And Apex says that they will limit to 5% cap per annum on potential increases, so they might not even increase by that much, but the 5% cap per annum is less than what the Republic is showing for what they want to increase.
Is the service like apples to apples?
yeah, everything on paper shows that way, so.
That's what it seems to be, yes.
Yes, same thing with the large trash days, yeah, cause there's been
Quarterly.
discussion on changing that and, yeah.
It's,
What was Republic going up?
Republic will be doing $20 a month starting January 1st, and then it'll be $20.80 on 27 and $21.63 in 28, $22.50 in 29, and in 2030 it'll be $23.40. And if we're starting with, if we accept Apex, that would be $17.83 rather than $20. And that, in the 5 years, I was doing the math earlier and I didn't write it down, but it's significantly less over the 5-year period. That the 5% is not as much as what Republic is asking for the 5-year increase, 5-year increases.
You have anything to say, Susan? I meant this Susie.
No, yeah, no, it's,
Both Susies, how's that?
the last 5 minutes I've been reviewing it, didn't get a chance to prior, but it does look apples to apples. And I know, have you had conversations with Nick over the contract, or?
I mean, Keith said something earlier about whether we can do a 3-year or a 5-year, and, I mean, so you're saying it doesn't matter which one?
I don't see any issue with the length. I think if you are considering going with Apex, the only hesitation that I would have is if this is the entirety of the contract. Ideally, the contract has language that says if the town wants to get out, you just need to give them like a 30-day notice. But this is silent as to when you could get out and what you would need to do
Whether
to get
we'd
out.
be locked in for the 5 years or not.
I don't. It's silent. So I think you'd have an argument that says the contract doesn't say anything about getting out. Here's our notice. We want to get out, but it's ambiguous.
Okay.
Ideally, it says with 30 days notice you can get out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we do need an answer this meeting, or?
Yes, we do,
Okay.
we do. Go ahead, Sean.
So, you know, I moved out at the Green, and I had Apex out by Mentone. They weren't bad, but they're nowhere near the size of Republic, nowhere near. So you're going from, I don't know how big they are, but I know Republic's a lot bigger. The price may be better, but, there was, you
Customer
know, I'm
service?
only one person, there was only, you know, it may not just been, but I was way out in the country on Schilling Road. And there was times where, you know, it didn't work out so well. At least I know here in Etna Green, I've been here for a long time, Republic picks up my trash. I've never had an issue with Republic. I know it's cheaper, and I take that for what it's worth, but it's just me.
Yep.
So,
They skipped my trash can several times.
and that, yeah.
The thing is that it's like apple to oranges, where you pick up in town or out of town. That when the trash services, that because in town it's every house, they can do the routes, and that I can see where there could be more problems as they move. If we had more of a larger community outside of town, that to try to service that would might be a problem. But being in town, I think I would think either one would do okay.
Can they fit their truck down the pavement on the alley instead of on
The trucks are all the same width, Dave.
Well, you're talking about in 5 years, if they do those increases, it's only a little over a $2 difference.
And it's still cheaper then, so, yeah. Do we ever hear a motion one way or the other, or?
I make a motion that we accept the Apex, the contract for the trash and recycling,
I'll second that motion.
and for a 5-year period.
For a 5-year period. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I need to sign this one here and give them something that is signed in, or is the verbal through the council gonna be?
I would recommend signing it.
When will this take effect, with Apex or with
I think it's the first of the year.
first of the year?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I'd ask.
Today is 11.
So,
Just the
I
signature,
just
right?
have one question from the Republic
Just Keith's
side.
right.
Go ahead.
We've obviously been servicing this community since 2012 and so we're obviously disappointed that, we were not chosen to continue on. The question, I guess we reserve the right to object to this proposal that's just been agreed to. And the question I would ask is, where was this bid process posted? Other than Ann calling around?
That's all it was. Does a contract like this have to be,
A routine
Formal.
service,
Over.
something like this typically wouldn't be competitively bid.
so There's, yeah, if you go ahead and repeat that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm saying with a routine sort of service like this to the town, this isn't something that would be routinely competitively bid, where you're sending out and soliciting bids from providers.
Okay. I just want to know, so that's the town's statement is you don't feel it needed to be put out as
No.
a bid?
I mean, I've been on council for, well, since the Republic has been on here, and has given good service, but you've also always been the lowest bidder that we've been able to go along with, and that's big important to our community. But even just a couple dollars a month makes a big difference. And I've for the most part I've been personally have been happy with your service. There's been a few there's always a few things that have been caused problems, but it's I would like to say that it's you guys did give us the bidding for an amount, and it was over, and that and each year it goes up more than what the 5% of the other was. That it accumulates more and more than what the other one would accumulate. So in the end, it's more than it keeps getting bigger spread. So I mean. I feel I have to go with what is best for the community.
Okay.
That way.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to this quill estimate. Did you guys all get a
He
chance?
was wanting to say.
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to respond to what he said about Republic. Numerous times, we've had the wheels broken off our trash can because they slammed it back down on the ground. Numerous times, my trash can has not even been picked up, and it's right on this main street. So, I don't have a problem with it switching.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to this quill estimate. Did all three of us here have a chance to go over this estimate?
Yep.
And what this is for, we're trying to finish getting all of these chairs replaced. So what we're looking at is these chairs that you guys are sitting on my front two rows, and the ones that are in the back row are the ones that we're trying to get rid of and get all of them replaced for this building and for the community building. That and the new tables. So we've got the folding chairs are in here, and then we also have the 8 new tables. These tables are about half the weight of what the old wooden ones are. So it's a lot easier for our cleaning lady to, when people don't put them back like they're supposed to, it's a lot easier for her to handle them and move them around. The next one that is on this list right here, this table is another table just like this one here to put in that office over there, so that we can take and have when we have our larger meetings, when we have more than 4 people, so that we can actually have a separate meeting over there. We've been having the meetings out here during the day when we have our meetings, and we do get interrupted. It doesn't hurt anything, but we do have people walking through here. So that's what the last item on here is. I definitely approve the first one on here as far as the chairs and these tables. It is sort of up for discussion on whether or not we want to do this other table for this other office. The desk was removed from in there, so there is no longer a desk in there in that corner taking up the whole corner, so it's been moved back here, is where it's at. It's back in the hallway.
My question is only 8 tables that I was thinking that we have like 24 to 30 tables up there, but at the park building.
Richard?
No, we do not.
Is that what we're doing, is just replacing the last of the wooden ones that are up there?
Well, I didn't think we had any, we didn't have any wooden ones.
There's no wooden ones?
No.
We have some dark gray plastic ones that match these newer chairs that are good tables. The other tables that we're proposing to replace literally need to be replaced. They're getting worn.
Okay.
So it's there has been some already replaced from when I was up there doing the cleaning and all that. Because
It's just time for them to be replaced.
That was my only
what it
thing, was
boils
that
down
only
to.
8 tables, is that's just a drop of what how many was up there. I just wanted a clarification on that. So, the chairs, yeah, and I've had this battle before about getting new chairs, and that there's always been somebody that comes up with, well, those chairs have been here forever, from the school and from the church and from and talking about from the 70s. That
Much like a
Hey
lot of
Keith,
other things
there's
in
no
this
argument
town.
here tonight. There's
Yeah,
no
I
argument.
did
We're gonna
that.
get new chairs,
That
okay?
I did.
We're getting, the only thing I
I'm-
really wanna talk about is this table for this other room. I just wanna make sure that we're agree with moving forward with that table. Other than that, no, I wanna make a motion to go with the tables and the chairs. But I want you two's opinion on this conference table for the other room.
That's not a bad price for mahogany.
It's not. That's actually a really good price.
$6.99, yeah,
Yeah.
for a table,
It's just like this one.
something like this, a
I'd
little
say go
shorter.
for it.
But
If we got
that-
the money.
Yes, we do have the money. Well, some of this money, people gotta remember, we gotta spend it before the end of the year.
I second your motion that we go through with all 3 bids.
Okay, well, alright.
Or is that what your motion
Yeah,
was?
I make a motion that we go ahead with this quote right here to purchase the new chairs, the new tables, and the new table for the conference room in there.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rick could have built you a table for the conference room, but have
$5 million.
We can't afford that one.
You'd have
Keith,
antlers
what are you
sticking
planning on
out.
doing with the chairs?
The old ones?
Yeah, like these here you're talking about, you talking about these here?
That's another one of them things that's a touchy subject because we can't it's like, when we gotta get rid of stuff, I don't know, cause
I mean,
there's,
like an auction or something? Or
well, that's something that we need to do
postage?
because it needs to happen, because we got a lot of stuff that is up at the shop building that's just taking up space. So eventually we're gonna have to do something. We're not gonna give
Sealed-
away, we're not
sealed
gonna,
bids.
we'll do,
Right,
that's
sealed
coming.
Yeah, that's
This,
going down.
this
We
next
don't give
summer,
nothing away, yeah.
yeah, we'll do something with that. We're not throwing them away though, no. But yeah, we do need to do that. But this council's been very busy this summer. I didn't get a chance to go through, with the blight here in town, with people not taking care of their houses and junk cars. We've been busy. We're gonna get back to that, but it's just been a very crazy year, and we're doing the best we can. And I hope you all appreciate it and work with me. Okay, next on this agenda, we got ASTBURY report. I read through there. There's nothing really in the report. There's nothing bad, like there has been in the past. So, and I was just out there last week, walked around, took Eileen out there for a tour. So everything's good out there. So let's go ahead and move on to old business. Do we have any old business that either of you two want to go over or talk about?
Nothing.
Nope. Okay. So next we're going to move on to Richard. Richard, do you have any comments tonight?
Well, I would like to say, thank you very much to K-21 Foundation for the new mule. I really, really appreciate it. And, since the mule is out of the bag, thank you. Thank you very much. Heath,
Okay.
for all of the work that you've done to help get the walking track for us. Thank you very much for that.
Okay.
Thank you for campaigning to K-21 to help get the mule. You've done a lot more work for this walking track than what the residents in this town know. Amy has done a lot of work with this. There's other people that I haven't mentioned that have done a lot of work with this walking track. I've put in a little bit myself. It's my job. But Heath has put in a lot of work that not many people in this town know about. And I say thank you, Heath.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Heath.
Thank you.
Oh, and Rick Price as well, Dave Price as well. They've helped at the walking track as well, clearing trees for the park to get the walking track and things like that done. I would like to thank those two gentlemen as well.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll get the $5 million.
Does, do I have?
Richard can take you a ride on a gator if you want.
Does anybody else have any,
On the racetrack.
does anybody else have anything else here tonight? Does council have anything else?
I'd like to thank everyone for helping me quickly move into gears to substitute for Ann tonight, especially Phil for running and getting the camera and everything set up. She, yeah, it was not good. So she,
Unexpected.
She's,
yes, very.
I'm gonna say this, Ann is putting in tons of extra hours up here that people don't see. So when she's not here on Friday, or when the door's locked on Friday, she's still here working on Fridays. She's getting stuff caught up. She comes in on weekends sometimes. She stays after. You know, Susan, same thing. You're here late at night sometimes taking care of this stuff. And I appreciate both of you taking and working together and getting through all this finances and straightening out this paperwork and making it easier for everyone here. So.
And I will say, just from the little that I've been involved here, Ann has done a tremendous job.
Right.
I've been thoroughly
She's
impressed.
came a
She's on
long
top of
way
stuff.
Right.
shortly,
So.
yes.
Yeah, we've known you a long time. She's real particular about stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I talk to her. I talk to her now every day. It's we every day we have meetings.
Now you gotta worry about getting her to shut up.
I didn't say that, you did. All right, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Yes, it was, like I said, I was like, oh, yeah, she hasn't came out yet. I'm like, I'm gonna go check on her. She's laying down in the room.
USB-C, I went out to my car because I had one in my car, but it didn't work with the unit.
Yeah, it's very worrying. I think it's just overexertion.
This is the type that I needed, USB-C, so that USB, what happened didn't work.
The last,
So I got one I want to try.
And then the weather, being in and out of the weather.
yeah, just being this week, yeah.
Take the bite in the
Right, and it's gonna quickly look, I got all the signatures.
Yeah.
That,
You gonna be able to order
before they run out.
Oh, yeah, that's no problem.
Did we get the attorney to sign the CDBG page? Did
Yes.
Excuse me.
Just east of 1930, or just west of 1930. I saw it in the winter, running lights and sirens.
Good ideas.